Hello, hello, Dr. Joe from Atlanta. Welcome to Your Wellness for Life. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Hope you had a great day. I had a great day. It was fairly smooth. No major catastrophes. That's always good. And the sun came out this afternoon, so that was always nice. All right, Dr. Joe from Atlanta. Welcome to Your Wellness for Life. We discuss all the different pillars of wellness. And here we go. We're going to talk about tonight. Anyway, I was listening to a fabulous interview over lunch today, and this gentleman by the name of Tim Shurr, Shurr, was interviewed by Ray Higdon of Rankmakers, and it was riveting discussion. I think it was about 45 minutes long or so. I'm going to have to go back and re-listen to it, but Tim Shurr has written something like 6 books. His latest book is entitled One Belief Away. And this guy became a hypnotist by accident, but he actually has a master's degree in psychology. And so he's been fascinated by, mindset and how people make decisions, how he makes decisions. And he was suffering from anxiety as a young child and young adult, and not until he was hypnotized, he got over his anxiety problem, and he kind of got interested in that. But anyway, I haven't read this book, One Belief Away, but I'm sure I'm going to get it because I want to learn more about what Tim Shurr has to say. But anyway, he had a saying in there that really caught my attention. He says, "The biggest breakthroughs are in the places you don't want to go." Let me say it again. So, like, your biggest breakthroughs are in the places you don't want to go. And, we're wired to always, the fight or flight thing. We always want to get away from danger. We always want to go to a safe spot. We don't want to run into lawnmowers, so to speak. So we're kind of programmed to always go to a safe place. And so there may be some decisions that you don't make because you talk yourself out of it. We'll get a little bit more into that, but we're talking about boldness. And anyway, so tonight's topic, your biggest breakthroughs lie in places you don't want to go. So let's talk about boldness a little bit. And I can identify with this. I was finishing my 3rd year in college, and I was actually an accounting major in a business school, and finished the 3rd year. The summer was coming up, and I was walking down the hill down to my dorm room, and there was the post office, the mail room, and I walked in there, and I realized I don't want to be an accountant, and I'd always wanted to maybe do the medicine thing. So I put my foot down, and I said, I'm dropping out of this business school. I'm going back to the main college, major in chemistry, and the rest is history. My friends thought I was nuts. They thought I made an irresponsible decision and that I would regret it, and yada, 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 and all this other stuff. But anyway, so I don't think that was an impulsive decision. I'd always obviously been thinking about it. It wasn't anything emotionally driven. So I thought I'd made a good decision, and obviously the rest is history. So your biggest breakthroughs lie in places you don't want to go. Sometimes you fear something, and you have this great idea, and you have about 5 seconds, according to Tim Shurr, you have about 5 seconds to make a decision because your negative self-talk is going to talk you out of it. So you have a great idea, you might want to act on it, and you got about 5 seconds to make that decision. So what are some reasons for indecisiveness? And this is according to Robert Taibbi, and he's got 3 of them. 3 reasons why people are indecisive and not bold. One is you're thinking too far ahead. So if you started thinking, oh my, medical school, and I have to do a residency, and defer making money. It's all you just not gonna do it, and you just kind of scrap it. You see what happens when you start thinking too far ahead, and so this the nature of anxiety, filling our heads with endless worst case scenarios. And obviously, there's a difference between trying to decide about the lunch special or whether you're going to marry someone or maybe change jobs. There are obviously uh, bigger and smaller decisions. Um, so we're probably talking more about bigger decisions, not lunch specials. But I guess you could apply this to lunch specials too. Um, the second reason for indecisiveness, according to Robert Taibbi, is number two, you are self-critical. Is there something you've always wanted to do, but now you start looking at worst case scenarios on top of that? Then you add self-criticism to the mix, and you say, not going to do it. So you're thinking too far ahead. Now you're self-critical. And the third reason you're indecisive is that you don't want to upset anybody. You've told people you can do one thing, and now you're going to do something different. Nah, I don't want to upset. I don't want to rock the boat. So I'm not going to do it. It's very trendy now to say no to things, to say no to this, no to that, so that you're focused on that one big thing. To move that big rock, you start saying no to a bunch of things. And so you got to be careful with the word no, and you got to be careful with the word yes. And so if you use the word no too often, causes you to get in your own way. And on the flip side, with yes, being bold, you do have to say yes, but you don't say yes to everything. So you got to be careful what you say yes to, and you got to be careful what you say no to. So these are the three reasons why we are indecisive. We start thinking too far ahead. We start thinking about worst case scenario. We start being self-critical, and then we don't want to rock the boat or upset anybody, so we talk ourselves out of it. So what are a few ways that you can be really bold and start thinking about the big breakthrough that you want to go after? And number one, sometimes you have to listen to your gut. Sometimes you just have to listen to your gut. Get out of your head and listen to your gut, and make a decision, based on that. It's not always cerebral. You got to go with your gut instinct, so to speak. Number two, you want to set some priorities. If everything becomes blurry with importance, it's time to step back and get your rational brain back online in order to override your anxious one. And so set some priorities. Number three, this is the most important one. You have to take action. And again, you don't want it to be impulsive. You don't want it to be emotional. You want to put some thought into it. But it is the most important step. You do have to eventually take some action. Like I decided, I'm not going to be an accountant. I'm going to become a doctor. And then you start thinking about all the steps after that. But you got to make that big decision first. And number four, if you screw up and if it wasn't a good decision, guess what? You can always change your mind. You can always mop up. Most career and work decisions are not life or death decisions. And even some of the big ones you can get out of. So you need to start taking yourself less seriously. All right, so those are the boldness 4 steps of 101, according to Mr. Taibbi. Number one, you want to practice listening to your gut instinct. You want to set some priorities. You want to eventually take some action, and then realize that you can always mop up and you can always pivot, change your mind if you didn't make the best decision after all. All right, so your biggest breakthroughs lies in places you don't want to go. We're programmed to avoid things that scare us. And unless it's something that's life-threatening, it may be time to be a little bit more bold. So yes to boldness. Again, Tim Scher, great book, One Belief Away, might help you become more bold. He says the biggest breakthroughs are in the places you don't want to go. Dr. Joe from Atlanta, welcome to Your Wellness for Life. And happy Tuesday. Get some rest, and we'll catch you tomorrow. God bless. Good night. Bye-bye.